Hello everyone, welcome back. So if you saw my video where I showed the ferro rod and striker handles that I had turned on my new lathe, or new to me lathe, I showed this piece of live oak that I was working on that had all these little holes in it. Let me put a quick clip in right now to show you that. This one right here, this is live oak. It has a bunch of little holes in it. I'm going to guess from bugs. Um, I've been trying to figure out a way to get them filled because I don't like them. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe use epoxy or some kind of filler. I tried some crazy glue here, but this one's going to be for at least a 3/8 or half-inch ferro rod. So I have this one in the works. All right, so you saw it. I ended up taking the advice of multiple people in the comments that said to use the CA glue with the fine dust from the sanding, and it filled it in beautifully. Beautifully. You can't feel them. I dig the way it looks. It didn't blend in, which I thought it might. It stayed dark, but I definitely dig it. It just sort of looks like little knots. Came out really nice. I have it drilled for a half-inch ferro rod. So of course, our brother, Nathan 4071, half-inch by 6-inch ferro rod. Brother, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is a beauty. So what I'm going to show you today is how to epoxy this into that handle. Then of course, I had to make a striker handle, and I have this one right here. And it came out pretty good. Matches nice. I have a 1/4-inch high-speed steel striker already epoxied in. So we'll have a nice matching set. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is, after you drill your hole, you're going to want to measure how deep it is. You don't have to get fancy, right? I drill them approximately a 1/2 inch. Make a mark on your ferro rod. Just do a little scratch. Because you're going to want to remove the coating around this, okay? And the bottom. So I do it on a belt sander, which I'll show you in a second. But if you don't have a belt sander, you can use a file. If you don't have a file, you can use a piece of sandpaper. If you don't have a file or sandpaper or a belt sander, you could just scrape it off, okay? But you want to get that coating off so you could epoxy it in. So let me take you over to the sander and I'll show you how I do that. All right, so I'm over at my belt sander. This is a 4x36 belt sander. And just a PSA for you. If you have been sanding wood or plastic or any other combustible material, you have to clean that all away, okay? Because the sparks that come off of this will set that on fire. Don't ask me how I know. All right, let me find my line. Okay, so I got my line, about a 1/2 inch. We'll turn this on. Okay, so again, you don't have to go right up to the line. You just want a nice area where it's clean. So the next thing we're going to do is put a little nick all the way around it by putting this Let me move this up. I'm going to come up here where I can get a little nick in it. And then I'll show you back at the table what it looks like. All right, it's going to be hard to see here, but I'll bring you back to the table and I'll show you. All right. So hopefully you can see those little nicks. Okay, that's going to help the epoxy grab in there, okay? So the next thing you want to do is I just have some denatured alcohol. You could use acetone. You can go to the, a dollar store or something, buy some nail polish remover. Just make sure you buy the one that just says pure acetone. Some of them have other stuff in it. So a little paper towel, and you're going to want to clean this. See that black that comes off? Anytime you're epoxying or gluing anything, you want the surfaces to be clean. Try to get in those nicks. Okay, we got a good clean surface. Give yourself a test fit. Okay, that fits great. Now, this is a very tight fit. So what's going to happen is the epoxy, and when you put the ferro rod in, it's going to create like an airlock, okay? And the rod is going to want to try to shoot out. Now, if you make the hole slightly larger, like you get a piece of sandpaper and kind of finesse it in there, if the rod slips in very easy without any resistance, you won't have that problem with the airlock where it tries to push it back out. But I like it nice and tight. So the next step is we're going to mix up some epoxy. And this is just 5-minute quick epoxy, Harbor Freight stuff. And again, do not use a ton of this stuff because it's just going to squirt out. Okay? That's why we made the nicks. The nicks and the epoxy is going to hold it in. All right, I just use a little toothpick. Take our epoxy. Get our ferro rod. All right, and now we insert it in. And if you start to get that airlock, just give it a little twist. Okay, that one worked out great. We got just the, if you look at that, hopefully it shows up. We got just the perfect amount of squeeze out on the top. I like to wipe that to get a nice clean look. Beautiful. That's why I like a nice tight fit, okay? So now it's epoxied in. We obviously have to let this dry. And it's a 5-minute epoxy, but I won't use this after 5 minutes. So I'm going to let this sit overnight, okay? and then I'll bring you back, and of course we're gonna have to try it out. Try to store it face, oh, I'm banging the camera. Store it facing this way while it dries in case there's any excess epoxy. You don't want it pumping out, okay? All right, we'll be back. All right, so it's all done. It's been about 24 hours. It's in there rock solid. So we got to break this puppy in. Let's get some Florida fatwood. Ooh, that smells good. We didn't do any Smiths today, but we'll get some of the finer stuff. Put that in there. All right, making a mess. Oh, let's get the coating off of this. All right. Y'all ready for this? There she goes. I guess that was my first official turn and burn. Good old Bill. We miss you, brother. Man, that's sizzling. Woohoo! Whoa, look at the smoke coming off of that. Hot dang. For all my American friends out there, I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I picked up a turkey fryer. So it's going to be my first year doing a deep fried turkey. I got a spot picked out in the middle of the lawn. Yeah, I don't want to burn anything down. I got some fire extinguishers. Man, look at this stuff, huh? I'll tell you. Florida fatwood is just absolutely awesome. Hey, leave me some comments down below on what you use to inject in your deep fried turkeys. So far, I'm going to be using some chicken broth, garlic, a little garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and butter with chicken broth. I think that would make a nice injection. Again, I never injected anything, and I never cooked one in the deep fryer. I know the whole method of the deep frying. I'm going to put turkey in there with water, see where the water displaces to know how much oil I have to put in. So like that part of it, I'm good with. But I'd like to know what you all use for an injection. Man, this is sizzling. It's a smoking. Dang. Let me push that out of the way. That might just burn a while. Whoa. So there you have it, folks. Live oak handles, Nathan 4071 ferro rod. That's a big boy. 1/2 inch by 6 inch. And of course, a high-speed steel striker. And the Florida Fatwood burning in a Bruce from over at Fab Creations manger. Oh yeah. So you know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And again, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. And we'll see you on the next one.